So for the second half of tonight's chat, we're going to be playing with an Instant Pot. I've never owned one. Shocker. I have 4 air fryers, but I've never owned an Instant Pot. I've only owned this for about 4 days. But there are already a few things that I figured out that I thought I needed to share with you all who are afraid of it or afraid to use the pressure or, you know, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and show you all. It's already out of the box. But I'm going to show you a few things that Lily and I have figured out just in the handful of days that we've been playing with it. So when you get it out of the box, you're going to have some extra parts. Do not throw any of these away. I am not big into reading directions, but I'm actually going to read you some of these directions because they've ended up being important. Okay, so this is the Instant Pot that I purchased. And remember, we're having to run an extension cord from the bathroom because Josh, and no one here knows Josh, but come on, Josh, come on. You got to come finish everything. Okay, because Josh needs to come back and finish everything, so I'm going to turn you all around so that you can get a better look at the Instant Pot. So this is the one that I ordered. Amazon Prime days are coming up soon. I don't know if you all knew that or not, but it's coming up July 11th and 12th. So I'll post a link for this one in the chat notes, and I'll post it separately so that you all can see it. But Amazon Prime days are coming up, so you should be able to get some pretty good deals. And that's the 11th and 12th. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, I will I'll post a link on that too. Let me see, Carol Lou, how come? Afraid, let me hold on a second. What are y'all talking about? Carol Lou says, what are y'all talking about? Carol Lou was not a fan of the Instant Pot and ended up giving it away. Okay, we've already made 2 things in it, so yummy that I will not be giving mine away. Okay, a couple of things that I noticed. So first thing, when you open the packaging, Lily and I were confused. We were like, oh, look, there's the gasket. So we knew what this was, but we were like, oh, look, there's the gasket. How do we put that in there? When you open your packaging, when you open it up for the first time, do remove all the tape, remove all of the packaging, make sure that you get all of it because some of it is holding down things that need to be able to move, so it needs to be off. So I will show you this. It comes with a gasket in it. And yes, mine is an Instant Pot brand. So it comes with a gasket in it. The red one is extra, so that's an extra gasket. And I think part of the reason that it comes with an extra gasket, you know, sometimes things happen. Also, let's see, Debbie says get 1 for meat. Hold on. And 1 for everything else. They give 2 now. Okay, so that's exactly what I started to say. I wasn't going to say meat, but I was going to say I have a different kind of a pressurized cooker. It's called a can cooker. And if you leave something in there too long, the gasket smells funny, and it's almost impossible to get the smell out of it. So I was going to keep this one as an extra gasket, just in case it, you know, smells funny. Okay, then next thing we noticed is now the one I played with did not have this, okay? So now there's this little tab, and I don't know how long it's been like this, so if yours is like this, sorry, but we didn't know. So now there's this little tab, and there are 2 slots on the back of the Instant Pot, and you can put the lid in there. Ta-da! So I guess depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed, you can put the lid in one of those slots, and it will maybe stay out of your way. Okay, apparently I can't do it looking at it backwards, but anyway, ta-da! Okay, so now the lid is out of my way if I need it to be. Speaking of the lid, you've got a couple of things going on here. This is where steam is going to come out. Do not ever, ever, ever put your hand over this, okay? Okay, Debbie, y'all calm down. I didn't know. I've never had one. And for anybody who's not had one, if this wasn't obvious to you, you can put the lid right there. This is where the steam comes out. Don't ever put your hand over the top of this, okay? That's gonna be hot. This is the little thing that's gonna pop up when it's pressurized, and that's also the little thing that's gonna go down when it's not pressurized. It's kind of like a Thanksgiving Day turkey, you know, when the little button pops out. Well, it's gonna be kind of like that. And then there's this little switch here that I had to get Lily to read for me because I could not read it with my glasses, but it says seal or vent. So this is going to be very important for when you want to build up some pressure, or if you want to do a manual venting, so a manual release, which we had to read all the instructions because we didn't have any clue what it was talking about. So you're going to need to put on your good glasses and figure out which one is which. So for us, for this one, all the way back, see, I'm having to look at it funny, all the way back is seal. So all the way back is seal, and forward is vent. And the little thing that's in here moves. So it moves when you do that. So when you vent it, can you all see that? It scoots over a little bit. And when you seal it, it's right over the top of it. So hopefully you could see that. And then it's got a couple other things on the top. I'm going to show you how the lid clicks on here in just a second. Another thing that wasn't abundantly obvious to us, the Instant Pot that I had played with years ago, and that was over at Popcorn Karen's house, the insert, you had to just pick up. So I was trying to just pick it up like this, and Lily was like, whoa, 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 it has handles. So now it has handles, and this is the stainless steel insert that goes in there, but now it has handles, and they're nice little silicone handles, so it was cool to the touch. One thing that also was not obvious to us when we looked inside, there are measurements inside of the stainless steel insert. That's where you're going to cook everything. Oh yeah, so that's new. Awesome. So I have handles. Okay, so, but inside of this, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but inside of the stainless steel pot, for lack of a better term, it has markings 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and so the 1 is for 1 quart or 1 liter. It's not 1 cup. 1 quart or 1 liter. 2 is 2 quarts or 2 liters. 3 on the quart side is half filled. So again, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's half filled. When you get to 3 on the quarts, 3 liters is more than 3 quarts. That's more volume for 3 liters. So that's more than half full. And then 4 on the quart side is max PC fill. So that's the maximum, hello Julie. So that's the maximum pressurized cooking fill. I'm saying that, I'm making that point because I am 95% sure that that is what happened to the Nesco pressure cooker that I had. I'm pretty sure that I pushed the maximum fill line. It wasn't this clear. So this is abundantly clear. Like I know exactly where I can fill this up to. I'm pretty sure that I overfilled the Nesco and I killed it, okay? And that was no longer under warranty. And Debbie said never want to go above the highest mark, the highest maximum mark. So 4 quarts is the highest mark on here. Then it also has a mark though for 4 liters and 5 liters, and it does have a mark for 5 quarts. But again, 3 is halfway filled, quarts. 3 quarts is halfway filled. 4 quarts is maximum. It's the maximum pressure cooking fill line. So don't ever go above that. I can tell you from personal experience, it did not end well. Okay, the first thing you want to do is wash it out with just some warm soapy water, and you want to dry the outside of it and then put the insert back in. I'm saying that because I actually saw somebody take theirs out, whatever, blah, 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 wash it, put it down in their brand new farm sink. Did you see how far down I put that? This farm sink is fantastic. Anyway, put it down in their brand new farm sink, whatever, and then turn around to add something to their Instant Pot or their pressure cooker and poured it in the bottom, okay? Do not do that. You want the outside of this to be dry. You do not want this touching. You don't want any water going in there if at all possible, okay? So this is where all the magic is, is happening, and you want that to be dry. So, okay. So let's make sure that this is dry because I just set it down in that sink and I don't want it to be wet on the bottom. So we're gonna set that down in there. We are gonna do this first pressure test before I show you some of the other buttons and go over the instructions with you. Remember, tonight is for those of us, not Debbie, it's for those of us who this is brand new, and Debbie, thank you for chiming in. Anybody else that's had an Instant Pot for a while, please chime in. Please let us know, how do you use it? Or are there any things I need to make sure that I'm showing people? And also I brought a pen in case you all have any, no, Sarah, don't be afraid of it. It actually worked. It made some weird noises, but it worked very well. So I brought a pen in case you all have any specific questions that you want me to find the answers to over the next few weeks while we play with this thing. But the first thing we're going to do is the pressure test. So remember, I said that I'm not really good at following directions, but Lily and I were a little bit intimidated by this, so we went ahead, and followed all of the directions. So I'm going to show you some of the pieces and parts here in just a few minutes. But this first test, we removed the pot, took it, washed it with just some warm soapy water and a clean cloth, and then dried, made sure that the outside of it was good and dry. Okay, so then the next thing you do, get all that together. Then you plug up the power. We've already done all this, so we've got the power plugged up. Okay, and then the display should say off, and it does. Our display, if y'all can see that, the display says off. So there's nothing going on right now. It is off. Okay, then, let's see. We're gonna fill it to the first line, and the first line, remember I just told you, the first line, okay, I'm sorry, Myrna just got me. Myrna said she cooks beans without soaking them, that is something she does quite frequently. Guess what I bought at the grocery store today? Guess what one of the things I'm going to try this week is? Cooking beans, Myrna. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. Debbie says, store my cord inside my insert so I never accidentally put anything in the cooking pot. Also, I never use mine on the stovetop. Debbie, you actually just reminded me of something. You just reminded me of something that I completely forgot to say, and I totally meant to say. The reason that it's on, that this is sitting on something that spins, that's two very important things. Actually, that's two very important things from Debbie and one very important thing from me. So Debbie puts her power cord inside so that she doesn't accidentally have it plugged up and accidentally, push some buttons and start anything. Also, she never puts this on top of the stove. I would highly recommend that. We actually had a customer that sadly, we were redoing their countertops because the mother-in-law who was washing their house put the air fryer on top of the stove. She thought that would be a great idea, put it on top of the stove, successfully used the air fryer, then forgot that it was on top of the stove and accidentally turned on one of the eyes and it caught the air fryer on fire. So the air fryer, it's dead, caught that on fire, caught her upper cabinets on fire, gutted the kitchen. Everybody's fine, everybody's good, even the cat was okay. They were all fine, but guess what? And they got let's see, what is it? We call it an involuntary remodel of their kitchen because of the air fryer fire. But what Debbie just said is actually very important. Do not put appliances like this. Don't put them on top of your cooktop because you could accidentally do that. And Carol Lou says, just had an electrician in and he said to never ever run a cooking appliance on an extension cord. The only reason I'm doing that, Carol Lou, is because we do not have power in here yet. So this will be unplugged as soon as we get done. And that's another good point. And we have heavy duty extension cords because we do granite countertops. So we have to have heavier duty extension cords for that. Okay, so this first little test, because I do want to show you that, we're going to fill it up to the 1. So remember I said to fill it up to the 1 mark. So that is when Lily and I discovered that the 1 is 1 quart. So we're going to pour enough water in here to be up to the number 1, to the 1 quart line. Okay, we're going to do that. And then there is an arrow here that you want to line up with this little notch here. Did you hear that fun noise? Right now it's open. So see, it still says off and it's open. And as soon as you turn it, yes, no extension cords. Yeah, don't run appliances on extension cords if you can help it. Okay, so now, so now we have that fun little noise that lets us know it is locked and loaded. Remember, I'm standing over here while I'm showing you all the front of this. I will not be putting my hand after this gets going over the steam vent. Okay, that's gonna get really, really hot and it's gonna come out really fast once we get started. So Stage 2 is getting it ready for cooking. So stage 1 was prepping it. That was the cleaning. That was the figuring out how to turn it on. Stage 2 is cooking. So we're going to touch pressure cook, and I'll see if I can do this backwards. So we're going to do pressure cook, and the custom light is flashing, and we're going to press the dial and select it to go to the next field. So this is the dial, and the next field is down here. That next field is blinking high. You can go between high, low, high, low. So we're gonna go to high because I want to pressure cook. We're gonna test the pressure cooking. Then the time, let's see, then we're gonna press that again, and the time is gonna be flashing. We're gonna turn the dial to 5 minutes, because remember, this is just for a test. Okay? And then you press again. So pressing that button is like saying, okay, I'm ready. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So that confirms that you wanna go to the next one. And then the next thing is reminder, and it wants to know if you want to do a steam reminder, if you want to, or sorry, a vent reminder. We're not going to do a vent reminder because we're going to let it. We're going to do a quick release, and you'll see that here in just a few minutes. Hopefully, we will have time to show that. Let's see. So that's going to be. We're going to leave that on off. That's flashing off because we don't need that reminder. Okay, and then we're going to touch start to begin, and start is right here. It is this green light right here. So the first thing that it's going to do. it beeps 3 times, and then I hope you can see this. It is flashing preheating. So right now the Instant Pot is preheating. It's preheating. While it is preheating, I'm going to tell you a couple of other things. One is there are lots of Facebook groups that you can join for Instant Pot users. The second thing is, I talked about this. Make sure I got that on seal. I do. The second thing, yeah, make sure that this switch is on seal. Yeah, and I did. It's on seal. So there's lots of Facebook groups that you can join of Instant Pot users. The second thing is, I told you last week or 2 weeks ago that Instant Pot had filed for bankruptcy, but it's just reorganization bankruptcy. So calm down. Everything will be okay. That doesn't mean any of the groups are going away. It doesn't mean any of these recipes won't work. Doesn't mean any of this is not going to work. Okay, so that was a couple of things. Next thing is, I highly recommend that you go ahead and get, and this is now is the perfect time to get these. This was on sale for $1.24 at Kroger today because, hold on a second. Phyllis says, I've had my Instant Pot for years and use it frequently. I store with the lid upside down on top of the unit, and I think it helps prevent odors in the ceiling ring. That's a great idea. There's nothing worse than a funky odor like we in our can cooker, because we use it to store also. Yeah, we've got to replace that ceiling ring because it's got a funky smell that we cannot get out. But anyway, right now is a great time to get just a little index card thing, you know, with the spirals on it. This was $1.24 at Kroger. Everybody has things like this on sale right now because of back to school supply shopping. So this I'm going to use to write down. This one will be for my Instant Pot. So of course y'all know me. I'm going to use colored markers and stickers, you know, and whatever, make it fancy. So this is what I will be putting my notes in, like you know, things that are, you know, that I need to know, things that I need to remember, you know, just anything important notes, any recipes like the one that Lily and I tried that my neighbor told me about last week. If Myrna gives me any special advice on cooking beans, because I really, really want to do that, I'll be making notes on here so that I can flip through and just be like, you know what did Myrna say to do the beans on? Or what did Coco say to do those greens on? You know, I can just go back and say, oh, okay, Coco said to do, you know, pressure cook for 20 minutes and then natural release. Just little notes like that, because I won't remember. So Coco, or our neighbor Nicole, she, and the kids call her Coco, she took a recipe, just a regular recipe off the internet for collard greens, vegan collard greens, and she adapted it to use it in the Instant Pot. But you know, that's something that I might not remember, to let it be a natural release instead of a quick release on the pressure. So that note will be going in here. So I highly recommend getting a little notebook like this, especially when you're starting out, so that you can keep notes of things like that. Let's see, have we moved yet? Oh, we're at the second stage of preheating now. So if you are like me, ooh, Marianne says she makes applesauce in hers. Yeah, hard-boiled eggs, I'll be trying again. So Marianne, you'll have to tell us about the applesauce so I can put it in my little handy-dandy notebook here. And let's see, Caroline says it's making her want to take out her sandwich toaster again and her casserole dish again because she hasn't used them in years. There is other important information in here that you can use. One is I mentioned a quick release and a natural release. So if something needs to be on the natural release, it just means that the pressure is going to stay, it's going to stay inside here where all the magic is happening. It's going to stay, the pressure is going to stay in there longer. Some things will be a quick release where you want the pressure to be gone like that. It's going to be this situation. After we get done here, we're going to do a quick release. Some other things. So preheating, it's going to tell you the cooking time, if it needs to keep it warm. This particular brand of Instant Pot that I purchased, you can do pressure cooking. Hold on, I am so sorry. The third or fourth important thing that I completely forgot to tell you, but aside from never use an appliance like this on top of your stovetop. Also, the reason that I've got this sitting on a turntable, it could be a turntable, it could be a cutting board, it could be anything else. Please do not put your Instant Pot, your pressure cooker, even your slow cooker, your air fryer, anything like that. Please do not put those appliances that get extremely hot on the bottom. Please do not put them on your brand new quartz countertops. Granted, it's fine, but please do not. This is a quartz countertop, which we will be using here at my real job at KC Kitchen Center. Please do not put things like that on your brand new quartz countertops or your old quartz countertops, because it could scorch them or discolor them over time. It can actually crack them. If you use something like this a lot and if it never moves from that spot. So please put them on something today just so that I can turn it. I have this on a Lazy Susan's just to get it off of our quartz and so that I can turn it. But for later, we've just got a marble cutting board that we'll be putting it on. Okay, so that was my other bit of news. This particular brand though, you can do pressure cooking. It's got a rice setting. It has a steam setting. It has a saute setting, slow cooking, sous vide, yogurt, and baking. And I find it funny that yogurt is its own setting. So who has made yogurt? Okay. Oh yeah, okay, y'all are still talking about the applesauce. Yeah, we definitely need the applesauce recipe. Okay, so I can hear it. I can hear that it's almost done preheating because it's making more noise. But you definitely want to learn all of these. We're going to be talking about these more. Couple of things that I did get in addition to this, just because I knew that I was going to need them. So this lid, we were talking about the lid and the sealing ring that's in there. Ooh, Marianne has made yogurt. So do we need a special button just for yogurt? But that ring, talking about that ring that's inside of that. Another thing that I did, just only because my can cooker, got that funky smell now, I went ahead and ordered, and I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but I went ahead and ordered an Instant Pot lid. So just like and I have it on the French side. Hold on. Okay, when you have it on the English side, it says glass lid with steam vent, stainless steel rim and handle. So what that's for, once you're done cooking, and if you need to store anything inside of that, then, uh-oh, hold on. Did you put water in it? Debbie, are you talking to me? Debbie, if you're talking to me, yes, it has a quart of water in it. Yes, I'm not doing that dry. But anyway, I've got an extra lid so that this lid doesn't have to stay on it. That's part of the problem. That was part of the problem with the can cooker is we were camping and we had to store it with its original lid on it. Yeah. And it was funky. And yes, Debbie, you must have gone to take Pri out to the bathroom or something because, yeah, I poured a quart of water in there. Okay, so do y'all see that? This is why, if you can see this, that's why you do not put your hand over that little seam thing, okay? Or over where the little red button is. You do not put your hand over that. Okay, the little red button just popped up. So you can see that it was blinking on preheating, and now that the little red button popped up, here in just a minute, it's gonna move over to cooking. And after it moves over to cooking, let's see, I forgot how many beeps it should be. So let's see. I think it's 5. I think it beeps 5 times when it moves over to cooking. So you don't have to just stand here and stare at it. You can walk off, like don't leave the house, but you can walk off. But I think it's 5 beeps, so we'll find that out here in just a second. Okay, but anyway, I also got the lid, the storage lid, so that I don't leave it on there. There we go, 1. Just 1? Oh, yep, it's just 1 when it went over to cooking. Okay, that must have been when Lily and I were actually cooking something Saturday. Anyway, so I got the lid to keep on top of it so that it doesn't make my gasket smell funny. And I went ahead and ordered a 2-piece steamer basket because I was extremely interested in being able to steam 2 things at the same time, or cook 2 things at the same time in there without them just being all together. So we're gonna learn on that, you know, as we go. Okay, a couple of recipes that I wanted to talk to you all about, things that I've only done 1 thing in here. And let's see, Lynn, no, I set it for 5 minutes. So for this test, we only did it for 5 minutes. And Debbie says she has the glass lid and she also uses it for slow cooking function and anything except pressure canning. Good to know, Debbie. Okay, so Debbie, that leads to a question. So if you're not pressure canning, if you're not pressure cooking and pressure canning, you just use the glass lid on top of this. And I know, like, you can saute and things like that. And like, my Sunday school class just exploded this morning, and like was a flurry of recipes and ideas and things to make like cabbage soup and things like that. So yeah, so that was fantastic this morning. But Lily and I already made, we already made a vegan, let's see, it was vegan collard greens. And I'll show y'all how to make those as we're, you know, as we keep experimenting with this, not tonight. But, oh, it looks like 20 because it's backwards. Oh, I gotcha. That's a great question. So Anna, thanks for answering that. Lynn, so sorry. Because this is backwards, because we had to use the phone, and hopefully Casey will be able to get this off of the Mevo camera because I am recording on the Mevo camera. Hopefully she'll be able to get this off of that so that you all can see this facing forward and you can see my queen of everything, you know, facing the correct direction, and you'll be able to see this facing the correct direction. So it was 5 minutes, not 20 minutes. Sorry about that. Okay, so, and now we're already down to 3 minutes, and when we get down to 0, then we're gonna do the quick release, and hopefully you all will be able to see that before we end, because it is quite shocking, and I want you to watch me do it before you panic on that. Okay, so the collard greens, we are, on the collard greens, it was so crazy. It was so absolutely crazy. We had this entire thing filled with collard greens, so like chock full of collard greens, but remember, not above the maximum line. And then we'd put in a can of diced tomatoes and olive oil and some garlic and some other things. And remember, my friend Nicole, my neighbor Nicole, she had adapted a recipe that she found on the internet, and she told me to cook it on pressure cook for 20 minutes and then do a natural release. So to let it, you know, just to let it naturally release, don't quick release the pressure. And we were shocked. It was absolutely fantastic. But I do want to say, don't get rid of the directions. Don't just think that you can figure this out for yourself. There were a lot of really important things in here in the instructions. So I will be keeping these, like the steam release assembly. If you ever needed to take that apart, it does talk to you about how to change out the seal if you want to go, if you need to do that, if you need to change out that sealing ring. It has an anti-block shield that keeps food particles from coming up out of it, so it's important that you leave that on there. It does have a little, I'm not going to turn it all the way around right now just because it's trying to cook, but there's a little like a vapor carrier, you know, catcher thing on the back, you know, for when some of the steam comes out. There is a smart guide, a quick guide, you know, for cooking. And so it tells you if you do a smart program, you can pressure cook, you can custom do chicken sterile, you can sterilize jars for canning, you can do pasta, beef, soup, eggs, beans, you can do custom for rice and grains, you can slow cook, you can sous vide. I do have 2 of those. Oh, I got 2 of, let me show you these real quick. You know, because you have to have all the toys. I got 2 of these to make those little Starbucks egg bites with. Actually, one of them was gifted to me by Wendy Popsicle. I can't even say her last name, Popsicle. Here we go. Okay, now that we're down to 0. Oh, and that is perfect. That is perfect because we are winding down. So now that we're down to 0, we're going to do a quick release. And there you go. There you go. That is the quick release on the steam. If you notice, I'm standing over here. I'm not standing over the top of it, but that is going to quickly release the steam. And then when all of the steam is released, then it will be safe to open it. But even if you did a quick release, do not open it towards you. Like, don't ever open anything that's that hot towards you. Okay, well, I could talk for another, I don't know, another hour or so, but since we, oh, thank you, Marion put the applesauce recipe on the Facebook page. But since we are back here in the KC Kitchen Center showroom, that means that I've got to clean up, pack up, and unplug this from the extension cord, never put it on top of your stove, and get this all shut down, and I've got to drive back home like normal. So I'm going to go ahead and get wrapped up. As much as I hate to stop talking about my new Instant Pot that I'm very excited about, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But stay tuned because we will be doing lots and lots and lots of things. Oh yeah, and that's a good point. Debbie says you can't open it until the vent button goes down. So that's exactly right. And mine is an Instant Pot. It is an Instant Pot brand. I know a couple of y'all had other brands. Somebody had a Pampered Chef one, I think, and you'll have to tell us about that later. But anyway, fun, super excited. So we'll be making lots of fun things in here. And I did go ahead and get my new digital pressure canner. So hopefully Lily and I will be making lots and lots of things for y'all to enjoy. So if you watch this on Facebook, thank you very much. If you are watching this on YouTube, go ahead and that's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. Go ahead and let that next video roll over. And then go ahead and subscribe because you're going to want to see what else we figure out how to do with the Instant Pot. But y'all have an amazing week. And thank you for letting me play. And I will see you all next time. Good night. And Chris and Melissa, I'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody. See you next week.